Hello, my name is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks. And tonight I'm going to be starting another two-part series with when our beliefs, or it could be our ideas, are self-serving, part 1 of 2. And the first thing we're going to do tonight is admit it.
What? But of course I'm self-serving. Who isn't?
So before I get going on this topic, I would like to introduce you to Sweet Lady James.
Well, hello. Welcome back again. For those who are here for the first time, welcome. Where Granny is going to share her wit, her wisdom, and her uncommon sense as Granny rocks our world, our name of our show, otherwise known as Grow. And so we do air every Monday and Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Otherwise, we don't air at all, because to forgive is to err is human.
Okay.
So carry on, Granny.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to address the people who have already said hello to us. So Bob said hi, Beth and James, and he said Carol says hi.
Yeah.
Hello, Bob and Carol. And Amy says, boy, that is the first step. Yes, thank you, Amy. So true, so true. And Elizabeth said hi, Beth and James. So I want to tell you, and I want to greet all of our viewers from all around the world who come all kinds of different times. And Todd said hi, Beth and James, and hi, Todd. And it looks like, and CJ says, how long y'all be married, or brother and sister? We've been married
Since 2011.
We've been together for 8.5 years, and we are not brother and sister, but in spirit we are. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is, just to make it clear, what do I mean by self-serving beliefs or thoughts or, attitudes or ideas? Well, it means, CJ said that's cool. And Debbie said, I bet, and James, I'm off work tonight. Yes. So hope to catch all of your posts. You better. That's great, Debbie. I'm so happy. So anyway, so self-serving is like something that serves our own interests. So for example, let's say you made 10 pies for Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
And then you sat in the kitchen and ate all of them. That would be self-serving. CJ says love. Yes. So now I'm going to give you an idea of some examples of self-serving beliefs or ideas. And I want to tell you how I got started on this topic. Something happened. I was on Facebook and I saw a post, and this guy was saying something like, and I'm sure I'm completely mangling what he said, but it was kind of like this: a real woman gives of herself willingly, without reserve, without asking for anything in return, just because of her own pleasure. And I want to tell you, my stomach turned over, because I thought, now that could be a very self-serving idea. And now I'm going to give a couple more, and then I'm going to explain the why. So here's another one. A society can say a man will protect his country or family, and wants to, even at the cost of his own life.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Be a hero soldier.
Right. Now, a person in a relationship can say, a true friend would never flirt with my guy or my gal or them. So are these statements self-serving? Well,
yes.
Could be. Now, it could maybe not. Supposing we go to the first one about the guy who makes this statement about the woman who just gives of herself and all that. Well, maybe this particular woman, I'm sorry, CJ, you're asking me personal questions that's not appropriate here. So let's say the woman does want sex, and she feels like it's her self-expression, and that's what she wants. So okay, but how many times is a man telling himself that because he just doesn't want to have to give? Oh, CJ said sorry. Well, thank you, honey. So maybe the woman just doesn't have any self-respect. And he's taking advantage of the fact that he doesn't have any self-respect. And he's telling himself that it's because she loves this, right? And I'm not going to get graphic. And Halim says, hello there. Hello, Halim. So just everybody, you get that, don't you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so now let's go to the second example. A man may protect his country because he feels the call to do so. That was the one about, a man will protect his country or family even at the cost of his own life. Well, maybe he does feel the call to do that, and it's in him for whatever. But maybe it's his family, his army recruiter, or his friends.
The government.
The government.
We need soldiers to wage war in Vietnam.
Exactly. Well, Vietnam is a while ago, James. There's other more current things. But for us, Vietnam is, forever young.
That was a very bad example of protecting your country.
Yes, I know. But anyway, maybe all of these people feel that way because they want him to go to war. But they want to believe that that's the way he feels. And maybe he even wants to believe it himself. Because like with the woman, she may be telling herself that that's how she feels because she doesn't want to admit that she feels any different. And he may be feeling the same way. And one says, hello, Juan. So now let's go to the example of a true friend may recognize that my mate are happy, and that friend would not want to disrupt that. But maybe I or my friends, carry the belief that a friend would never flirt with my mate because my friends don't want our social group broken up, or they don't want to feel threatened that somebody else might flirt with their mate.
That sounds self-serving.
It's you darn straight. It's serving, or maybe they would feel threatened by the idea that it's okay to go in there and break up a bad marriage because all you're really doing is testing that relationship. And if it falls apart, well, maybe there's something to that. Or my friend might not flirt with my mate because she or he feels that they could not compete with me and they wouldn't win. Or they might get thrown out of the group if they tried. Oh, Debbie says, can you say hi to my 6-year-old grandson? He always watches you with me, of course.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, Annie. So glad to see you. And Helen just said that Helen is here. So welcome, Helen. So glad that you're here. Okay, so I've just given you 3 examples of where it may be true what the person is saying, or it could just be self-serving, that the man or the woman or the social group or the country or the government or the friends want to believe that because it serves their interest. Right now, these 3 examples are just the tip of the iceberg. I want you to start thinking about your own beliefs and ask yourself if they are self-serving. Okay, I'm going to throw out some kinds of things that we could be thinking about. CJ said, love the respect you all have for each other. That's very nice. Thank you. Okay, now, first, does your religion proclaim its own superiority? And is that self-serving?
Most do.
Right. Does that mean that they have a right to, force other people to convert to their religion, or to send missionaries out, and you're a missionary and you want the job? Or, does it allow them to persecute other people, or just to look down at other people who aren't like them? That is self-serving, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Does your nation proclaim that it has the right to the resources on other people's land? I mean, this goes
That's
across.
happened a lot.
Oh
in
yes,
history.
across the globe. The globe. It's not just here. I mean, Manifest Destiny, and we took the Native Americans' land and all the Aboriginal people everywhere around the world, or grabbing land from each other and fighting over resources. This happens everywhere. Do we actually have that right? Is that for the highest good of all, or is that self-serving? Are you a woman? And do you believe that the man is responsible for earning the money, even though you may also make a contribution? Could that possibly be self-serving? Are you a man? And do you believe that a woman should serve you and defer to your judgment? Could that possibly be self-serving? Are you a child? Not your 6-year-old. Well, actually, your 6-year-old may be able to answer this. 6-year-old grandson may be able to answer this, Debbie. Are you a child, and do you believe that God or the universe put your parents on the earth to meet your needs, but not to care for themselves or others? Ooh, that hurt. Well, of course, that's what I believed when I was a child, right? Very self-serving. So, do you believe that because you're smart or because you're beautiful, you should have special treatment? Well, if you're not beautiful or not smart, you may not feel that way.
But you might find something else to make you feel special, like being smart.
I just said.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay, but you know.
Athletic.
Yes, exactly. Should all the resources go to you because of something? Is that self-serving? Is this getting a little bit close to home and painful? How about this one? I'm so tired, so the dogs can wait. They're not hungry. Terry says, hello, Terry.
Hello, Terry.
Oh my God, if you just got here, you missed so much, but you can always watch the replay, but so glad to see you. Are you the government, the state, or a parent? And have you decided that it is the duty of grandparents to take care of the children you don't want to take care of? Could that possibly? Now, I'm not saying that you can. I mean, this is not a situation where you actually can't do it for whatever reason. But I'm talking about, oh yeah, it's their job. I mean, the state decides the grandparents should do it because the state doesn't want to have to be responsible for those kids. So put it on the grandparents who are tired or whatever. Okay. So now here's an old story. Do you remember the days? You may not have grown up with these ideas, but I think we did. Animals have no feelings. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
Animals have no feelings. Can you even believe that people used to say that? Could that possibly be self-serving? Could it be like, oh, the rabbits who are in these cosmetic experiments and have toxic chemicals put in their eyes, just for the experiment, they don't have any feelings. I mean, they're not suffering, are they? What about lab rats? They don't have any feelings, do they?
I think they have feelings. I think they can feel pain.
And what about lab dogs? But see, do we feel that because we're human beings that we have a right to torture other animals because we want to have the results of that, especially with cosmetics? That makes me sick. So I'm not judging. I'm saying, isn't that a self-serving belief? And Rashid said, hi. Hi, Rashid.
Hi, Rashid.
So there are other kinds of examples, and I want you to be thinking, because I want you to think by next Wednesday, part 2, about what self-serving ideas or beliefs you might have, right? So I'm going to throw out a few more. On a broader scale, have you decided that healthcare is a right? Or have you decided that healthcare is not a right? And why? Is there something self-serving in that belief for you? Either way.
Mhm.
Are you one of those people who really needs it? Or are you one of the people who already has it? Could there be something self-serving? What about another belief? It's is it really the fault of poor people that they are poor?
Mm.
Do we, where did we get that idea? Or do we want to use that to comfort ourselves when we're feeling guilty about poverty in America or in the world? Do some people really prefer having no running water or decent sanitation? They just enjoy the simpler life. Is it just true that I need to put my company's profits above the wages or working conditions of my employees? I just need to. Could that be self-serving? Should we suddenly change the asylum rules that have been in place forever because we don't know how else to deal with the world's problems caused by poverty, violence, drug abuse, and climate change? And should we just change? Is that
With people seeking asylum.
Yes. Rules that have
Unlivable
been
conditions.
around forever. So is that self-serving? Could that be? So now I want to leave you with this really anxiety-provoking question. What do you believe that is actually self-serving? Think about it. And if it's true, are you ready to admit it? See, I want to get into that next time. And maybe, I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about, but maybe I'm going to talk about why it's difficult for us to admit that our ideas are self-serving. Maybe I'll talk about the world we grew up in that tells us it's okay to be self-serving. I don't know. You'll have to come on Wednesday to find out. But I do know that self-honesty is always the first step to change. Unless you happen to believe that everything is fine just the way it is, because you happen to be comfortable, wealthy, of the right race, of the right gender, of the right something or other. So you want to keep everything exactly the same. Debbie said, you have covered so many great topics tonight. Thank you. I'm glad
Thank you,
I
Debbie.
really wanted this to just start us thinking. I love it when we start thinking, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I also want to remind you that not only on Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time will we return to take on the second part of this two-part series, but also on Thursday nights, I play the piano for everybody around the world. And it's at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and it's an actual piano, and it's called Dreams of Peace.
So the program is called Dreams of Peace.
Didn't I say that?
You've said after the word piano, you said it.
Oh, okay. Yes, the program is called, thank you. The program is called Dreams of Peace. And Erica said, anytime I think I know the fact that happily close a loop seems to be self-serving.
That's a great observation.
Yes. And Bob says, thanks for the great topic. Thank you. And thank you for the great viewers. Please share this show. Share it, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable or if it makes your friends feel uncomfortable. Because, this is a good one. Now, I don't need to share that show. Beth and James have plenty of support. I don't need to like or love that show. I don't need to comment. They have plenty of support.
That sounds like a self-serving statement.
Could that be? Or is it self-serving for me to ask you to share the show?
Depends on your motivation.
Well, it's because I want them to do it. So I want
lots of people.
So Amy said, thank you for challenging us to look at ourselves and how our beliefs are self-serving. Thank you, guys. Well, I love you, and I'll see you Wednesday and hopefully Thursday too. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Very good. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.